A wise woman once said, "Two-time takes skill to master, but is still annoying as shit." Hello, it's me, Hannibal Nectar, and due to people agreeing that I can branch out to Forsaken-related content, I've decided to make a video on a topic I'm passionate on, that being the state of two-time. No, I'm not here to rag on people for using two-time. I'm not here to say the two-time rework was handled horribly despite agreeing that it was. I'm here to confidently say, with evidence, that two-time is... Alright, what do we mean by boring? Boring is usually a subjective thing. It's never that much of an issue, besides to just a few people, correct? Well, yes, in some factors this is correct, but if you give me a few minutes to explain myself and not type out a comment as soon as you click on the video, it should be easy to explain. Let's talk about Team Fortress 2 for a second, but not for the reason you think. Obviously, Forsaken has a lot of similarities to TF2 in some aspects, rework two-time being one of them. But, in most aspects, two-time is confusingly enough the sniper of Forsaken, which is weird to say, but it will all make sense later down the line. So, why sniper? Spy's right there. These two would be the two characters to compare, correct? Well, yes, these two share almost the exact same kit, they are still almost completely different. Just like two-time, Sniper is suited for a designated playstyle, staying far back and picking off enemies in his sightlines. Two-time is suited for a designated playstyle, which is creeping behind corners while crouched and stabbing the killer with a lunge. Sniper can completely ignore his own playstyle and be completely competent at any range and be as aggressive as he wants. Two-time can completely ignore their own playstyle and be completely competent at any range and be as aggressive as they want. There's clearly a theme going on. The problem with both of these characters is that there is no punishment for ignoring the rules of the game and allowing you to play however you want, which means someone who's competent with one of these characters can easily mop the floor with you. It's actually dangerously weird how similar these two characters are. Two-time mains just tell you to turn around ever so often, it's not that hard. Sniper mains will tell you to stay out their sightlines, it's not that hard. Which are both correct things, but it doesn't make your character any less boring to play against. Unlike Sniper though, there's no counter to two-time besides turning around ever so often. You can't do anything after stun is applied to you, you just have to live with it. There's no moves that can make the two-time second guess, there's nothing even stopping a two-time from getting to your back by any means. Considering two-time's knife comes out as fast as an M1, it's barely even reactable. It's like you're forcing a killer to play guess with a slightly faster block. And because they have the hitbox of an M1, it means that ping plays an even more huge factor here, making them make hits they shouldn't even be able to land. Because two-time has an easy learning curve, you can pretty much become good with them overnight. So, what does this all mean then? What is my main point here? To put it bluntly, two-time ruins the flow of a game. A slash from a Shedletsky is heavily telegraphed and simple to counter, while also being a very versatile tool. It's easy to play around as a killer, but it's easy to trick the killer as a Shedletsky. Both Shedletsky and the killer are on an even playing field. The killer has an obstacle to avoid that can cost them a few precious seconds. They can see when the obstacle is coming, but they have to think fast enough to dodge it, allowing them to be aware at all times. A Shedletsky versus a killer is like an even MMA match. Your opponent's moves can be dodged at any range in any way, but you always have to be aware. And then two-time is like if that MMA fighter decided to pull a gun out mid-match. Yeah, you can dodge the gun, but if you misjudge, you're getting a bullet to your cranium at Mach speed. And last I checked, you can't really counter a gun. So how could two-time be better without ruining anything about the character for the die-hard two-time fans? Well, I have a pretty simple solution. Two-time shouldn't be allowed to backstab. Okay, get your panties out of a knot, let me explain. Instead of stunning, two-time's kit should be a focus on an evolution of pain. A standing front stab being the most tame form of pain, while a crouched backstab is the worst. Nothing about a standing front stab is going to change, it gets the job done as is. But for a standing backstab, there needs to be a change that should be good enough that it should fix two-time almost completely. That being, the backstab not stunning, but giving the killer slowness 3 for 6 seconds, and helpless for 2 seconds. Give yourself a second to think about it. A killer is giving chase to someone and a two-time follows and goes for a standing backstab. The killer can't instantly retaliate with an M1 due to being hit with helpless, giving the two-time chance to run away. But as soon as the helpless runs out, the killer is given the opportunity to instantly retaliate with a ranged option. For Jason though, he can just instantly raging pace to ignore the slowness. Being able to retaliate against a two-time like this already adds so much more strategy to fighting them, making it actually fun to counter them. But Hannibal, what about the fact the killer is basically a sitting duck? Other Sentinels can capitalize on this. Well, that's the point. This would promote teamwork between Sentinels and make two-time more dependent on their team. They're not a survivalist after all, they aren't meant to hold their own. For the front and back crouching stabs though, things change. A front crouching stab will apply the same effect as a standing backstab, but because you can actually see it coming, you can be able to react to it, while the crouching backstab will actually apply stun. Why does this keep the same properties? Well, just like the crouch front stab, it requires skill, timing, and aim to pull off, and if you manage to do all these from behind, you are rewarded with a stun. This then promotes two different playstyles, a sneaky 2-time that backstabs a killer while crouched, or an aggressive, helpful 2-time that jumps the killer with their sentinel pals. Not such a big nerf that it makes 2-time horrible completely, but a big enough nerf so 2-time is actually reactable while being satisfying to fight and play against for both killer and survivor. So that's pretty much the video over. If you find any holes or have any complaints about how I feel, be sure to talk about it in my comments or Discord server. I usually prefer a live debate or two if it makes things easier. So it's off to Mike Transcan with me. I got stuff to do.